Have you ever thought about how powerful Sirius Black really was in Harry Potter? What if he wasn't as heroic as he seemed? In today's video, you will find out why Sirius Black is one of the most controversial characters in the entire series. Sirius Black had a tragic fate, a rebellious spirit, and undeniable magical talent. But calling him a good character is not that simple. He was brave, loyal, and willing to fight for what he believed in. Yet his past was filled with reckless choices that led to serious consequences. From childhood, Sirius stood out. Born into the infamous Black family, he rejected their obsession with blood purity and refused to follow their path. His defiance led him to Gryffindor, where he found his true family, James Potter, Remus Lupin, and Peter Pettigrew. Together they became the Marauders, a mischievous and fearless group of friends. But his rebellious nature put him at odds with his own relatives. At 16, he ran away from home, cutting ties with the family that never truly accepted him. When Lord Voldemort rose to power, Sirius joined the Order of the Phoenix. He fought alongside James and Lily, even becoming the godfather of their son, Harry. But then came the ultimate betrayal. Peter Pettigrew, whom Sirius had always looked down on, revealed the Potter's hiding place to Voldemort. In one night, Sirius lost everything. His best friends were dead, and their murderer walked free. Consumed by rage, Sirius hunted down Pettigrew, only to be framed for his crimes. With a single explosion, Peter faked his own death, left a street full of bodies, and disappeared, leaving Sirius to take the fall. 12 years in Azkaban, 12 years of torment, locked away with soul-draining dementors. Yet, somehow, Sirius endured. When he discovered that Peter was still alive, he did the impossible, escaped from Azkaban, something no wizard had ever done before. His only goal was revenge. But fate had other plans. Instead of killing Pettigrew, Sirius became a fugitive, forced to hide in the shadows. He watched over Harry from afar, longing to be the father figure his godson needed. Despite his hardships, Sirius was a formidable wizard. He fought Death Eaters, held his own in duels, and was one of the few wizards who could transform into an animagus at will. He resisted the soul-crushing effects of Azkaban for over a decade, something even seasoned wizards could not do. But was he truly great? Compared to legends like Dumbledore and Voldemort, his magic was not exceptional. His strength lay in his resilience, not in raw power. Yet for all his heroism, Sirius was far from perfect. His childhood arrogance never left him. He bullied Peter Pettigrew, treating him as lesser, which may have driven Peter to betray the Potters. He tormented Severus Snape, turning his school years into a nightmare. Even as an adult, he was reckless, impulsive, and often blinded by emotions. His inability to think before acting led to his own downfall. His final moment, rushing to battle, facing his deranged cousin Bellatrix Lestrange, ended in tragedy. Sirius Black was complex, brave but reckless, loyal but flawed, a hero but not a saint. Some see him as a tragic figure, a man broken by fate. Others see a reckless troublemaker whose choices led to disaster. What do you think? Was Sirius Black a true hero, or did his own flaws seal his fate? The Black family was a dynasty of power, wealth, and dark magic. Their name echoed through the halls of wizarding history, always spoken with a mix of fear and admiration. They were proud, ruthless, and unwavering in their belief that pure-blood wizards were superior. Yet within this ironclad family, one son rebelled. Sirius Black, the heir to their legacy, became their greatest shame. From the moment Sirius could understand the world around him, he knew he was different. The Black family home at 12 Grimmauld Place was not just a house, it was a fortress of prejudice. The walls bore the faces of ancestors who despised muggles. House elves skulked through the shadows, whispering loyalty to long-dead masters. His mother, Walburga Black, ruled with a voice like a whip, ensuring that her sons, Sirius and Regulus, knew their place. Regulus was the perfect son, quiet, obedient, eager to please. He listened when his parents spoke of blood purity. He accepted their ideology without question. But Sirius, bold, defiant, and sharp-tongued, was a disgrace from the start. He sneered at their traditions, he laughed at their rules. His mother screamed at him, but he refused to break. His punishment was isolation. Walburga blasted him off the family tree, literally. His face vanished from the ancient tapestry that tracked generations of blacks. He became the ghost of their past, a name never spoken. "My mother didn't have a heart, creature," Sirius once said bitterly. "She kept herself alive out of pure spite." He never forgave her. But the real tragedy of the Black family was not just their cruelty, it was their curse. Madness ran in their bloodline. Bellatrix Lestrange, Sirius's cousin, was a perfect example. She was brilliant, beautiful, and utterly insane. She tortured for pleasure, worshipped Voldemort like a god, and laughed as she killed. "You have to mean it, Harry," she whispered when teaching the Cruciatus curse. It was a lesson she had learned at home. And then there was Regulus, the son who followed the family's path, only to realize too late that he had walked into darkness. Regulus became a Death Eater, swearing loyalty to Voldemort. But when he saw what the Dark Lord truly was, a monster willing to sacrifice even his loyal followers, he tried to fight back. He stole Voldemort's locket, planning to destroy it. He died alone, dragged beneath the surface of an infernal lake, betrayed by the very magic he once served. Sirius was nothing like his brother. He chose Gryffindor over Slytherin, defying his family's expectations. He found a real home with James Potter, Lily Evans, and the Marauders. But even in the warmth of friendship, the shadow of the Black name followed him. He never fully escaped it. The darkness was in his blood. It made him reckless, angry, vengeful. He despised his past, but it still shaped him. 12. Grimmauld Place, the home he swore he would never return to, became his prison. When Dumbledore ordered him to stay hidden during the Second Wizarding War, it was as if the Black family had finally won. He was trapped in the house that had tormented him as a child. The portrait sneered at him. The walls whispered secrets. His mother's voice, still alive in her cursed portrait, screamed insults every time he walked by. In the end, Sirius's rebellion came at a cost. He lost his family, his freedom, and ultimately his life. His cousin Bellatrix, the embodiment of everything he despised, killed him with a single curse. As he fell through the veil, he disappeared into the unknown, leaving behind a godson who barely had time to know him. The Black family was a dynasty built on power, fear, and blood, but in their relentless pursuit of purity, they destroyed themselves. Regulus was consumed by the darkness he once embraced. Bellatrix became a servant to a cause that ultimately devoured her.